Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Mod Driven. Today, I'm going to be taking care of what really has been the only flaw with my Honda Civic. But before we do that, going to do a little maintenance thing with the hood struts on the car. You know, a few days ago, I had a thought. It wasn't my first one, but nonetheless, I had a thought, and that was to make the hood struts a little bit better. Really kind of a maintenance issue. You know, it has the rods, of course, that it rides up and down on. And I got to thinking, you know, after handling these, putting them on and touching them, they don't feel like there's any kind of lubricant or anything on them. Now, I realize it's a sealed unit, right? I mean, you've got the tube here that has hydraulic fluid, oil, whatever they have inside. Maybe it's just air, I don't know. But it still has to ride along the rod here to go up and down. And I want them to last as long as possible, obviously, and to be as smooth as possible. So I'm gonna put a little bit of white lithium grease on those rods to kind of make them work a little bit smoother. Now, white lithium is used for all kinds of things. I mean, it's a multi-purpose lubricant or grease. Unlike, let's say, WD-40, which I know a lot of people use, but WD-40 really is not a lubricant. It actually kind of takes off any kind of oil that you put on. Now, I think the reason people think it's a lubricant is because it has mineral oil in it. That's its base. So it does have a little bit of slipperiness to it, but it really attracts things to it, unlike true grease. So we're going to go ahead, grab a little glove here, and I'm going to put some on, and then we're going to see if it makes any difference in the hood. This is kind of how it operates now, and it's really not too bad. I just want to make sure that it stays that way. Okay, I'm not going to use a ton of this stuff, just a little dab, if you will, because I'm not looking to, you know, have it completely saturated with grease, but just enough to kind of give me a slip plane on there, if you will, so that it runs smoothly. Okay, pretty simple thing to do. Let me show you real quick. What I'm going to do next is I'll shut it. Of course, it will slide down the rod, and then I'm going to wipe it off where the rod ends, because it doesn't go all the way down, I don't believe, to the edge. So we'll find out in just a minute. But you can see how much that little dab added to the rod. So you really don't need a whole bunch on there. This is kind of interesting. It looks like, because you can see where it contacts the rod, right? Like it only goes about that far down. So I don't really need grease down that far. Same thing on the other side. So it looks like it only goes about so far down. So I'm going to wipe off. And of course, some of the grease will still remain on there. But I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off just so it's not a spot for, you know, dirt and dust and stuff to accumulate on there. So from about right here where it looks like it stops down, I'm going to go ahead and just wipe off. I'm not trying to clean it all off or anything because I still want that slippery surface. Okay, there you have it. So I still have whatever's left from where I cleaned down on down the tube. And now you can see it's all cleaned off from about here where it didn't contact the rod. Pretty simple thing to do, and it should make operation smoother for longer. And I would only do this once in a while, not something you need to do consistently unless you're opening your hood all the time. Next up, we have the rattle, the squeak. It is time to try to nail down the squeak inside the car and see if we can't fix it. All right, this next one is going to be a little bit difficult. I have a rattle, and it's in the dash, and I'm thinking it's got to be where this panel contacts this panel. Because when I'm driving around and I hear the rattle, which is every time I'm driving around, if I tap this or just push down on it, the rattle stops. So it's got to be somewhere right along here where it's contacting this next piece. You can see where it splits here and kind of comes across. So I thought Maybe if I can kind of tap on it a little, I can get the rattle going and then maybe narrow down exactly where it's happening. So let's see. Well, not much luck there. I'm going to do that a little bit more in different areas and see if I can figure it out. I'm not going to bore you with that. Okay, believe it or not, I may have discovered it. Have a listen right here when I push down on this area. Now, if I do that up here, let's say, you notice there's nothing. But right here, like right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just wedge something real thin in there. It's going to stick way up. And then I'm going to go for a ride. I'm going to see if I hear the noise. And if I don't, then I'm going to trim that down and just make it contact right where you can't see it to kind of separate these two panels from contacting each other so that I don't have that noise. Let's go for a ride. Real quick before we go, just a thin piece of cardboard. Again, I'm not going to leave it like this, but I've got it in between. Strangely, when I push here, I still hear the noise. But I'm curious to see if I hear it when I'm driving around. We'll find out. All right, been out driving around for a little while on the roughest roads I could find as far as the texture of the road, you know, that really gets the car kind of micro bouncing a little bit. Haven't heard the noise, seems to be gone. So I think my little fix there is going to work. Now, what I'm gonna do is trim it down so that it's very narrow because I don't want to see it. And I'm even going to color the edge of that cardboard piece with a black Sharpie marker just so it blends in with the black trim and you can't see it. I'll show you once I get it all done, but it appears I have found and solved that little squeaky noise problem. Okay, got my little sliver of a piece of cardboard put in there. It's right in here. You can't see it, which is good. That's what I wanted. So I believe I have solved my vibration noise problem. Hopefully I didn't create another by changing the way that sits. I don't think so. When I was out driving around with the cardboard just stuck in there, the noise was gone. It was fine. Anyway, just a couple of little maintenance type things for the Honda Civic. Getting rid of that annoying vibration is great. Really the only flaw that I have with, or had, with the Honda Civic. Leave a comment. Let me know. Ever have a vibration problem that drives you nuts? And how did you fix it? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.